Okay. So it's good evening from me. My name's Neil, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm standing in for Kevin Taylor, who would normally host this service. And on behalf of him and everyone at Amadeitist, welcome to the Amadeitist Spiritual Service. Our guest medium this evening is Emily Baker. A very warm welcome to you, Emily, from all of us here at Amadeitist. The outline of our service this evening is as follows: an opening prayer, followed by an address, then some music, then a moment of silence for distant healing, followed by some more music. Then we will have a demonstration of mediumship from Emily. This will be followed by notifications and closing prayer. And as usual, the chat will stay open for anyone who wishes to stay. Okay, so I'll now hand over to Emily for our opening prayer, please.
Just like to all join in with me just for a few moments. Divine Spirits, Mother, Father, God, I know that we're tonight gathered through the ether, through our communications here in this Zoom room. But we send out our love and our healing to all of those in the Zoom room, but also to all of those who are friends, our family, our loved ones, near and far away. Least we should forget about those who are in need of compassion, of understanding. We send out our love and our healing to those who are in the war-torn countries who are going through things that we cannot imagine. We send out our love and our healing to those who are perhaps behind closed doors in need of love and compassion and healing. For those who are in need of food, of water, of clothing, we send out our love and our healing to them as well. During this time, we ask that the two doors from this world and yours are open, that those who are close to us in our hearts and minds come ever closer. And while the two doors are opening, may we say a thank you to the healers and the peacemakers of this world, but also to the animal kingdom, the creepy crawlies, the winged, the scale, the finned, the birds, the two-legged, the four-legged, for showing us unconditional trust when it is needed to be shown to us, as well as giving us unconditional love. We'd say thank you to Mother Earth for providing us with what we need each and every season. And so always, we ask for those who are taking their transitions to be surrounded by unconditional love and healing, and also for those who are left behind, their loved ones and their friends. We ask to be guided and protected throughout this service in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Emily. Back to you for your address, please.
Right. Good evening. Hello. And I was kind of thinking this evening, what am I going to talk about apart from the glorious weather? But I was actually thinking about what's just popped into my head was a couple of photographs I took, more than a couple actually, about some primroses. Because I was walking along this beautiful path along the side of the field, and there was a brook. And along the edges of this brook, there were primroses growing up. There's quite a steep bank. And sometimes we don't seem to notice how quickly nature changes. And sometimes we do, don't we? Because this last week, everything's kind of come out, hasn't it? The daffs have come out, flowers have come out, the leaves have all come out. And then there's times when it all kind of, has anyone noticed before everything comes out? It's almost as though this ground sucks in everything more. And then suddenly, has anyone noticed that? Just before spring. So we're looking at February, kind of January, February time. Everything kind of goes into the ground even more. And for me, nature is very much a case of looking and reflecting upon ourselves. How are we feeling? And it reflects how we are. So we've kind of been basking in this sunshine. I hope everybody's basked in some of this sunshine this glorious week before it changes. And the primroses, I had not realized, actually close up overnight and then they open with the sun. So I was able to catch some of these flowers just opening up for the first time in that morning. And this is about 8 o'clock this morning when it was coming light. It's beautiful. But we also have the opportunity of doing that as well, of being like the primroses. We have that opportunity. Yes, we bask in the sun and we bask in the glory, but there are times when we actually need to come in close and actually count in what we have got, be our own battery packs, if you like, to take in what we have learned from around us during that time. The ground itself, when it soaks in everything before it rejuvenates and comes back into life, is very much what we do during the winter. We hanker in, don't we? We have a look at ourselves, a time of reflection, especially in January, at the beginning of it, because we give ourselves New Year's resolutions. We give ourselves aims to go to and what we're going to be looking forward to. Another way of looking at spring, and very much so for me, is when I look at the new leaves, ideas blossoming. How many ideas come into our minds when we see fresh leaves, our learning experience coming into play? Very much we can be seen as being trees. We go through a period of learning, the spring of that youth, that green leaves, this fresh green, bright leaves. And then as we get older, the leaves get darker green, don't they? And that wisdom coming through. And then we share that wisdom with all that comes around us as well. We just don't keep it to ourselves. We share it in whichever manner it comes across. And you may say, well, I don't actually go out and teach anybody. It's not a case of that. It may be a friendly wave that we say to somebody, a gentle hand. Perhaps we help out our friends from time to time. But we give of ourselves all of the time. And I was explaining this, that we have a carbon footprint, if you like, but it's a spiritual footprint that we leave wherever we go. And this footprint is just as valid as it is for the trees and the plants and the animals. And we leave this wonderful, complex footpaths around us. We tread in the paths of those who have tread before us. And there's a Native American saying that once you go into the river is never the same. But nor are you, because you've also been affected by the river. We get affected by all of those things around us as much as they affect us, and we affect them. So I asked during this time that we actually reflect about how we are affecting simple things around us, not kind of like the big, huge things. We know we can see how we affect the big, huge things, like our family members, our friends, our family, and our loved ones. Absolutely. But what about the smaller things around us? What about the things in the garden? What about those things when we do take a walk? And that you may say, oh, Emily, I live in a town, I live in a city, I don't go to anywhere that's green. That's absolutely fine. But when you go out shopping, perhaps, or going down the high street, do you smile, or are you constantly looking at your phone? Do you look up and say, good morning, how are you? To perhaps a perfect stranger? Do you notice if somebody else is about to walk into a lamppost because they're looking at their mobile phone? Do you have a look at and seeing perhaps a youth who is actually about to cross the road just before a bus is going to come and hit them? Do you stop that? Now, has anyone kind of noticed that I know that I've helped people where they're kind of unexpectedly being helped, and friends of mine have helped people unexpectedly. And we look at those people as perhaps being like an angel. I'm not an angel, but to that person I was an angel. As I saved a boy going up at the outside of an escalator because he was a bit rambunctious, decided to climb up the outside of an escalator, but the down escalator was coming and he was about to be at that cross point. So I literally grabbed him over the railing and threw him onto his dad, who was kind of saying, oh, just hold on tight. It's like, Dad, pull him over, pulled him over. My friend said if you hadn't done that, then he would have actually perhaps died, had a severe head injury. A friend of mine helped somebody stopping from crossing the road just before a bus came. Now, for everybody else, we would see this as that stranger who comes along as being that angel, because I've never seen those people before, and nor will I ever see them ever again. And same for my friend. So angels and spirits and us, our connections are all intertwined. We can be angels to everybody. We can be the angels to that person who we do not know. We can be that angel to somebody who needs it, and it may just be that recognition of a smile. and knowing that they're there. To go back to right at the very beginning when I was talking about us and the flowers that I was looking at and the primroses, but it's noticing how we are as well, of noticing that we have that energy to perform as well, not perform, but to be. Us beings are just as important and just as valid as everybody else. Nobody is above anybody else. We're all spirit at the end of the day, as well as being human beings. But the beauty of being the way that we are in spiritual format is that we can also communicate and connect with the wildlife, the plants, the trees, as well as dogs, cats, fish, etc. So how about this week we just spend a little bit of time of looking at how we do use our spirit to connect to those things around us, and also what is it that gives us that extra energy to our spirit to be able to give more of ourselves to others and to ourselves as well, to gain that energy to keep on moving forward as well. I know it's a really short address, but maybe that's all that we need. There's that quiet little booster of knowing that we are all interconnected, not just human beings, but the animals as well as the wildlife, as well as the trees and the plants and everything else. And if you don't believe me, I'm sure I've said this to this group before, try being really superly nice to perhaps a house plant that isn't doing so well at the moment. And you're kind of thinking, oh, I really wish it could do better. Instead of thinking like that, just tell it that you love it. Stroke it and say you're the most beautiful plant in the world, and see how it flourishes. And it doesn't have to be a house plant, it can be a plant outdoors. I know that I can see the auras around trees and around some plants. And in seeing that beautiful aura, I can tell from 5 miles away or a mile away or however far away, if it's doing well or if it's kind of like, yeah, I could do with a little bit more. Have you noticed that? And have you connected it to yourselves and saying, okay, let me give of what I can give to you? There is a connection with our spirit to all living things. My next experiment is more to do with crystals and rocks as well. Let's see what happens with that one. So I'd like to leave those thoughts with you. Bless you. Thank you.
Please join me now in a moment's silence as we send out healing to all those who need it this evening, as I read out our healing prayer. As I do this, please keep anyone in your thoughts who needs healing. Personally, I would like to include all those souls involved, all the wars around the world and in the Russian-Ukrainian conflict particularly, and particularly those that had no control over the decision to go to war. Gracious Spirit, of thy goodness, hear our anxious prayer. Take our loved ones who are suffering, neath thy tender care. Loving Father, hear us. Gracious Spirit, may thy presence shed a healing ray, turning all their night of darkness into glorious day. Loving Father, hear us. Gracious Spirit, shouldst thou claim them, be their light and guide. Lead them to the heavenly kingdom, safely by thy side. Loving Father, Hear us. Hear us. Amen.
I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. Was grace that brought me safe this far, and grace will lead me home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see.
I apologize for the breakdown in the broadband transmission. But moving on. Okay. Now I ask you to send out all your love to Emily, please, as she links into our loved ones in spirit on our behalf. Over to you, Emily, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, okay. Two lovely songs there. Lovely. Can I come to Madna? Is it Madna? Yes. Hiya. Hello. I know I've pronounced your name horribly wrongly. I do apologise. Hello. Right. Okay. Now, can I just talk to you about a gentleman, please? And I want to go to grandparent generation for this gentleman. And I feel as though he did lose a little bit of weight before he passed away, but not a huge amount at all. He also, and I feel as though I want to put a greater age onto him as well. So, okay, lovely. He's saying I'm no spring chicken. There's no spring chicken. So I know he's kind of got a dry sense of humour as well. I do feel as though there's kind of like a stoic strength with him as well. Do you know what I mean by that? That there's kind of, he'll quietly keep on going. And with or without help, he will just keep on going. And he's very much got that. And so with you, he tried to instill that on you as though just quietly keep on. Don't worry about what other people are doing, he's saying, because it's almost as though you're worrying about what other people are thinking and doing, and that you have to be this. You don't, you just have to be you. Okay, so it's kind of as though he's trying to help you with kind of, you're kind of getting caught up with everybody else's noise and missing your own noise, if that makes sense. You know, as I was talking about earlier on about the primroses, it's that kind of understanding you, and you're missing that because he's saying that you're too worried about everything else around you. And he says it's normally the quiet people in life that end up doing the most as well. And it's not always about the fame and the glory and all the rest of it. You let the others have the fame and the glory. Let them get on with it, because that's just too much to worry about. Just do what you need to be doing and do it. He was a very quiet, gracious man, but very quite humble as well. And I do feel as though he would have done a lot of good deeds. A little bit like George Michael did a lot of good deeds, but with unsung, if you like, as well. So he would have helped out people, but he wouldn't have said, oh yes, okay, can you put this on for me and do this and do that. He wouldn't have worried about it. It was a case of, I'm helping out a fellow human being of when they need the help. Does that make sense? Okay. And hopefully you know who the gentleman is. Sorry, I can't hear you, but does that make sense of who the gentleman is? Sorry, I still can't hear you. It just, if you put a thumb up, if you do understand, that'd be fine. Fabulous. Okay. Right, okay. Right, he's also talking about that you're needing to get all your ducks in a row. So I feel as though you've got some sorting out that you're needing to do as well. And actually you put it, I know she gets distracted easily. So you're getting distracted quite easily. It's kind of that procrastination things come in. It's kind of as though this whole sorting out is too much. But if you just do a little bit here and there, and then you don't even have to do it in order, but you'll find that they'll all join up together in the end, he's talking about as well. Okay. A little bit every day and you soon find the job is done, he's talking about as well. And it's saying no, it's not about that you've got too much on. He's talking about you're finding excuses of not to do it when you know you need to do it. Does that make sense? It's like, oh no, I'm too busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, and then I spend 4 hours in front of the TV, and oh no, I'm far too busy. But he's saying, yes, but you only need to spend half an hour here and there. You know, it's not, don't think about it as a huge thing. Break it down into little bits. Okay. He's also talking about that you're actually really nearly there as well with this project that you're doing as well, because he said you have been working at it, but a lot of it's up here, or it's in pieces, it just needs to be brought in together. Does that make sense? So it's kind of all there, but it just needs to be brought together as well. I don't quite understand. I feel as though he was kind of good at turning his hand to other things as well. That makes sense. Okay. Because he's showing me darning a sock. So the old way of fashioned way of darning a sock is that you would have a mushroom and that you would expand it. And so that's what he's using. He's using a kind of like a wooden mushroom to darn with. And he's saying, while I'm doing this, I can't do anything else. Okay. And while I'm darning this, I can't do anything else. I can't watch the TV. I have to concentrate on what I'm doing. So he's kind of giving that as a way of you kind of saying, okay, well, while I'm doing this, and once it's done, that's it. Okay, I can now then do whatever I need to. Okay. He's here to give you the support because you've been asking about the others as well and if they're going to be okay. Again, he's come here for you. All right. The others will have their visitations. So he's talking about for you. This is for you. It's not for everybody else. This is for you. You who's at the bottom of the list. He's pushing you up further up the list. Okay, as well. So he just wants you to appreciate. He appreciates you, but you need to appreciate you as well. Okay. Is it your mum that you're asking for? He's talking about mum. Is it your mum? Yeah, okay. And that she's in spirit, obviously, not here. Yes, okay. All right. So I've got. Your mum wasn't one for sitting still. She was one for kind of finding things, 1,000 things to do, but never really wanting to sit still. So again, I've got her rushing around and you say, I'm just trying to bring her over, but she's just busying herself doing this, that, and the other. But she also loved her flowers, especially the springtime flowers as well, and also going into the summer. She didn't much like the late summer, autumn flowers. She much liked the spring and the summer flowers. Those were her flower ranges. So lots of roses, high scented flowers, jasmines, things like that. That's what she loved. And that's what I want to give you is the perfume as well. All right. I want to give you that lovely, fresh perfume of spring as well. And she's also heard you saying Happy Mother's Day as well. All right, so you've already sent out the thoughts of Happy Mother's Day as well. So she has heard. She's just busy with her bouquet of flowers that you know that you've been thinking about to give her. So she's already been busy about that, and she's just showing me a very large ceramic vase, and that I feel it was fluted up at the top, and it was blue and white in colour, and so that is brimming over, which you can't jam any more flowers into it, so it's brimming over. So I want to oh bless him, he's just gone, said she's just being greedy, she's just trying to have all of them, but they're very much around you. Definitely the gentleman who's here to spur you on, okay, and just taking it a little bit more steady and just being focused as well. Can I leave that love there with you, please, as well? Thank you. Thank you. Barbara, can I come to you, please? Hello, Barbara.
Thank you, Emily. Good evening.
Hello. I know it's always that unmuting yourself and muting yourself again.
That's right.
Pause on the proceedings. Right, okay. Yes, I want to come to you. I want to talk to you about a couple of people, please. And I'm going to test your memory, actually. So I'm going to take you back. So I've definitely got grandparent generation coming in.
Yeah.
As well as I've got wedding photo. Oh, I've got a gentleman. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, right. I want to talk to you about a gentleman. Can I talk to you about a gentleman?
Yes.
Right behind you. And he's quite a handsome gentleman. All right. And I know obviously he's passed, but I feel as though he's of same as a peer, same peer group as you. Okay, so he's of the same generation.
Yes, thank you.
And literally he's kind of, I first saw a wedding photograph and then suddenly I can see his face really clearly. Full head of hair, slightly wavy at times, but not all of the time, depending on how short he had it cut.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Short back and sides. I always like to be presentable. He's quite a talkative gentleman, but I feel as though I want to go towards my stomach area with an illness.
That's right.
He's
Yeah.
not telling me what the illness is. He's saying that doesn't matter. It's the fact that I'm here and I've got my hands on her shoulders because she needs some healing at the moment. And it's not just the healing of the back, but I feel as though I want to go quite lower down in the back as well for you. Does that make sense? And he's just talking about she needs that extra support, and I'm here to listen. Oh my gosh, he's so clear. When you have a look back, you'll be able to see him right behind you. I can see it. I don't know if anybody else can see him, but I can definitely see him. Anyway, so
Picture here. Yeah.
yeah. And he's bless him, he's kind of like, I'm here, I'm giving her a gentle massage. She's not feeling it. We'll get there of an evening. Right. But I do feel he's kind of got that lovely warm sense of humour as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
And oh no, we have to go out on he liked excursions. He liked going out and about. He didn't like to stay in for too much, did he?
No, that's right.
And he's kind of like, well, we have to make the most of this weather because you never know when it's going to change. So
It's true.
let's go out on a gallivant. Okay, let's go. It's kind of using the old-fashioned terms. Gosh, I haven't said that. But
Yeah, got
let's
it.
go out for a jaunt, a gallivant, a jolly, anything really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, and he keeps on taking me to water as well. So
Yeah.
I know that he would have been, and I want to go south. To me, it looks like Southampton, Portsmouth, that kind of neck of the woods. Does that make sense? Why I want to go to
The south coast. Yeah.
yes,
South coast. Yeah.
along there.
Yeah.
The nicer ends of Southampton, by the way, not the docks. The nicer end, the posher end.
It's got to
You
be
know, the ones with the yachts, and he pretends that he's got a yacht or two. It's that actually that's mine. No, actually, dear, it's that one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there would be, and the other thing that I'm keep on seeing is there's a very tall tower in Southampton
Yeah.
on the dock, and that's what he's showing me in the background. So I know that must be a memory. And
Yeah.
in front of it, there's some old buildings
Yeah.
which they've done up and shops and stuff. So it's really, really
Where you are. Yeah.
nice area. So he's showing me all of that, but I feel as though this is kind of really happy memories and nice place to go to. And I don't know why she's not there. I don't know. He's asking, why aren't you there now? You should be there now. And it's kind of like having an ice cream while walking along and just enjoying the kind of the atmosphere.
Yeah. I can understand where he's coming from.
Okay. And it's this kind of you can still be out and about. You don't but not have to be surrounded by 1,000 million people at the
No,
same
that's right. Yeah.
and it's kind of enjoying the camaraderie, but also enjoying the melding of the atmosphere as well, which he enjoyed, and he, you know, even if it was a quiet little pub, he enjoyed that. But so long as you're sitting by the window, so you could just have a look out and see what was going on as well.
Right.
So yes, he liked to be doing stuff, right? Can I take it? You've got. She did. You did have a shed. You had a shed, but you no longer have a shed. Does that make sense? A shed.
Shed. A shed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. He's talking about. She's got a shed, but she hasn't got a shed anymore. I don't know if you've cleared out the sheds.
Yeah. I've got a shed now.
You haven't got a shed.
No.
Oh, okay, because he talked about you did have a shed, but
Yeah.
you haven't got a shed now.
That's right.
Oh, okay, that's all right. Oh. But he was talking about that would be his kind of like a little bit of a go-to place of
Yeah.
dumping ground, if you like.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of like, oh, I'm just pottering. I'm okay. I'm in my slippers. It's fine. I'm not doing anything. I'm just in the shed. But that's kind of, it's gone now. But
Yeah.
there's also, I feel as well, he's talking about doing a little bit more clearing out that's happening as well.
Yeah.
That bit of sense of space and rejuvenating the space that you're living in. And
Yeah.
you're thinking about moving beds around or changing the position of a bed or something along those lines.
Can't do that. There's not the space to do that.
Okay. Yeah. okay, you suggest it, fine. I'm not suggesting this is him suggesting. He said there'd be plenty of space if you took out the wardrobes, it'd be fine. Like I say, it's his suggestion, not mine. A bit more different, but he kind of liked to have a go at doing things. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't, you know, don't be afraid of it.
No.
Okay, and that's the essence that I've got to give you, is that don't be afraid, have a go, you never know, as well. Now, the thing that he did show me at the very beginning was a wedding photograph, and I don't know if that was you or if I've gone back, but it did feel as though it was a wedding photograph that was being shown.
Yeah, thank you.
And it was in the distance, so I could see that. Okay. Right. You must have been very close, because he's talking about we had some really good times.
Yeah.
Good laughs. And that's the other thing that you've been missing at the moment, is that laughter. And especially of these sunny days, you've been thinking, oh gosh, where are my friends to go out to have a laugh? Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of just doing a bit of a catch up, and just even if it's pottering around town and not having to sit in a restaurant or anything like that, but just having
that's still a bit of an anxious time, I feel. Yeah.
And you know, yes, I understand. And he's saying take out the old address book, or in his case the little black book, but we won't talk about the little black book. But yes, anyway. It's along those terms of just having a flip through and just talking to them, and you may find that actually one or two may want to just join up and just say, okay, we'll just go for a walk, we don't have to stop anywhere.
Lovely, thanks, Emily.
And thank you for the necklace. I need to talk to you about the necklaces.
Yeah, thank you.
As well, that he was talking about as well. He said you can wear them, you know. You're allowed to, you know. I feel as though you don't wear them often.
No, that's right.
Yeah, and he's saying that you can do, you know. You might know, but I don't know that you can wear them. So it's that kind of, you've got them, so wear them. All right. It's kind of, yes, but it's not, you know, who cares if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Do you know what I mean? It's he'd say, oh no, but they're just too bland for this time, and it's like, oh no, who cares? But it may be a case of doing something along that line, and even meeting up with your friends via Zoom. Why not do a cocktail evening?
I can understand the message, yeah.
But he wants to try to give you that physical support, which he can't give you physically, but spiritually he is there with you.
Lovely, thank you.
And he said, I'm working on her back. I'm just working on her back. He's talking about sciatica. You've got sciatica going down the left leg, is it? The left leg rather than the right leg. So he's trying to work on that as well for you as well.
It's lovely, thank you. And
that, she's got restless leg in the right leg. Okay, so you get restless leg in the right leg, and sciatica in the left leg. I'm telling you, it's interesting. You'd love it. He is there, and he's trying to get some extra help to help him out, because he's saying, I'm trying everything. It's not working. It's not working. So he's calling on other family members to help out. So you may find that there's other.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, and can I just talk about the hats that you've got as well? You've got a couple of hats?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe time to dust them off. Try some of those out as well.
Lovely.
All right. Can I leave that love there for you? Don't forget it's coming up to Easter, so perfect time for dusting off the hat, the Easter hat.
Absolutely. Thanks, Emily. God bless you, love.
Bless you.
Lovely. Thank you.
Right. Well, I'm with Pam now. Hello, Pam. How are you doing? Suddenly,
fine, thank you.
You do love it when I come to people and they kind of go, oh, I've got to be alert now. Yes. Right. Okay. Oh, okay. Right. I want to. Sorry. Pardon me. I want to. Bear with me.
You're right.
Yeah. No. It's a couple of people and they're both talking at the same time, but one of them's stopping me from talking, and it's the lady who's stopping me from talking. She keeps on going. So she's quite hesitant, and she thinks before she speaks. Okay, so she's older generation. Where am I going? Okay, and I just feel as though she's excited to be here. She's going, yes, and then that's as far as she's going. So bear with me. Right, she hasn't come here by herself. And bless her, she is quite excited. I want to talk about grandparent generation,
Okay.
and I'm hesitant about that because I've got a feeling that it's more parent generation.
Okay.
All right. So I
Yeah.
may have more than one lady here. The energy is quite different from the gentleman that I've just had, you see, so that's also, but she's also taking me to breathing and stomach area. Stomach area doesn't feel like cancer, don't know what's going on with the stomach. It's kind of like IBS kind of situation. I've got issue to do with breathing. So again, this is where I'm talking about two different ladies coming in at the same time.
Okay.
I've confused you. I can see that face of kind of like I'm confused.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. All right, let me just see if I can try to split them up. So I've got one lady who's got an issue to do with her stomach. And I've got one lady to deal with the top half, her lungs, her chest area.
Okay.
Right? Making sense? So
No, it doesn't. No, and not at the moment. But and if it's, I don't know anything about my mum's side of the family, and that. But on my dad's side of the family, his mum had breast cancer and died of that.
Right.
And that, so if it could be, so I'm not sure who the other woman could be.
Okay. I'll describe the lady who I could definitely see, and she wasn't all that tall. So I'm only 5 foot. So she felt roughly about my height, but she was also hunched over. So I do feel as though she looked actually smaller than she actually was. So she'd probably been about 5'1", 5'2", but with her hunching forward, it looks shorter. She looks a little bit shorter.
Okay, that could be either my dad's sisters or it could be my mum. So
Okay.
they're all very similar.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. That's fine. I'm just trying to give you as much information as possible.
Yeah.
He's also wearing quite dark colours as well. So I've kind of got much more, like I'm wearing a navy blue, comes out black on here, but it is kind of like a navy blue, darker colours rather than light colours I've got her wearing. And she's actually got quite short hair, shorter than yours. But it's slightly wavy and set. It's the best way to describe it.
Possibility it could be my mum, but it doesn't sound like her.
Okay.
And that, so
Okay.
she's talking.
No, that's fine. And the other thing I've noticed is that she's got quite dark hair as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not light coloured hair. Okay. I haven't got her wearing glasses. She's not showing me wearing glasses.
No, she wasn't at the end. No.
She's got very much I feel like because she's sitting down, her proportions are all skew with for me. It's almost as though she's concertinaed herself up in being even smaller like this. Instead of if she sat up, she would have a different body shape.
She might well have done at the end and that, but with COVID, we couldn't go and see her. Yeah.
Okay. The gentleman on the other side of you, he's standing quite upright and quite tall.
Right.
He had issues to do with his legs.
Yes. Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah.
He said if you had a look at his legs, you could map out any river because it was like his varicose veins. He's talking about his varicose veins, of all things. So it's kind of, I know that he's got other issues to do with his legs, but for him, it was what he noticed was his varicose veins.
Okay.
Okay, so some of those would have been quite prominent. You know, when the veins kind of quite the thick veins stick up and stuff. So
yeah,
he's quite aware of that. But he does find it quite a marvel as well. You know, that he could still stand up and that he could still walk as well. Right, okay. Again, they're coming here for support for you at this moment.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, all right, I'll do that. So they've gone and said, now take my illnesses and cast them aside because I haven't got any. Both of them have gone and said that. So the lady who was hunched over, she's sitting upright. And the gentleman's saying, no, I haven't got any problems with my legs. So it's almost as though they've taken all of their illnesses, thrown them and cast them aside. It doesn't matter.
Okay, that's good.
That's
Yeah.
not about their illness is not them.
Yeah.
You understand? So they're saying that's, you know, whatever complaint that you may have at the moment, that is not you. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
It does at the moment, yes.
Yes, it's not you. He said, I know that I wore the issues of my legs as a kind of like a label. This is who I am, but it wasn't actually him. Okay, he was everything that was before the legs. Do you see what I mean? The legs were just kind of,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is something else that's happened. And I can add that onto my list, great. But that made up who he was. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
This is just another add-on attraction to you.
Okay.
So it does not comprise of everything that you are.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Does that
Thank
make
you.
sense? So it's kind of a case of, okay, yes, you've got it, but you're also generous, warm-hearted, you like to have fun, you're caring, you give of yourself to others, you're generous. And he's saying, that's all you as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And he's saying you're forgetting that part.
Yeah, I do sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He's saying you're forgetting all of the other things. He's saying he's talking about all the things that you like to do. You know, okay, yes, sometimes you find shopping a bit of a chore. Who doesn't? And now it's kind of like an adventure of finding the right price for things. But it's kind of he's saying it's kind of all of those things that you like to do are also all a part about you as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So he's saying, see yourself as a magnificent jewel, and this jewel which is precious and rare, and that there will be none other than you. There's nobody in the world like you. And with whatever flaws and facets that you have within it, like, you know, when you get, I know, that's quartz. Quartz, you know, when you get quartz and it has lines in it,
Yes. Yeah.
and it shimmers, doesn't it? Turns into.
Yes. Yeah.
He said it doesn't matter how many you've got of those because you're going to be unique. You are unique.
Yeah.
Okay, the lady's just wanting to hold your hand.
Okay.
I'm saying, I understand. All right.
Right.
So again, she's there for support for you. So
Okay.
the gentleman's very kind of enthusiastic, saying, look, you're all of this. And the lady's just saying, yes, there, dear. I know. It's kind of, but she's there as for the compassion side as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I know who that is. Yeah. Thank you.
She's you've asked if they come and go, or if they stay all the time. You asked that question.
Yeah. Yeah. I have asked. Yeah. Certain people that passed. Yeah. And that to go. Others stay. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yes, we do sort of come and go, but we stay as long as we are needed.
Right.
And then someone else will come in of who they are of need to you.
Right.
Okay. So yes, okay, you've got perhaps your mum and grandpa here, but it's kind of as though yes, they may go, but they will be replaced by somebody else.
Right.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
That does not mean that they won't ever come back again. They've gone and said. All right.
Yeah.
So it's what you need at that time.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. Can you get the cards out?
Yes, I can do.
Does that make sense? And I don't know if these are playing cards or writing cards. I've got a feeling it's a mixture of both.
I think my tarot cards. I think they were here somewhere. Yeah.
Right. But it's talking about, can you get the cards out? I also do want to kind of give you cards, as in greeting cards, Easter cards, and things like that. For you
Okay.
to think about where to send, where those cards that need to be sent, with a notation in them.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay, of sending somebody perhaps a little thinking of you thought, and just saying, I'm thinking of you because, etc., etc.
hmm
Okay. And again, you're quite well organized.
Yeah, I can be in my head.
All right. So she's just saying, you are quite organized and kind of getting things. She just says that's what she keeps on saying, getting things together, being organized.
Yeah.
Okay. Being
I
organized.
know what that means. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So the gentleman is stepping away. He said, I've said all that I've needed to say. And can you understand that the lady's gone and said, mothers don't necessarily have to have their own children to be mothers?
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, it's relevant to a message I had a while back. Yes. I
Okay.
do.
All right.
Yeah.
So she's just said that, and she said, and she's just holding your hand with that, and she says she's going to go now. So she's going to be with you, but she's stepping away from me, if that makes sense.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it does.
Can I leave that love there for you? And
Yes,
with
that's lovely. Thank you, Emily.
you? Thank you. Can I go to Ruth, please? Hello, Ruth. Hello. Yep, no, yes, there we go. We're unmuted. Lovely. Thank you. Okay. Oh, Ruth. Hello, Ruth. You were there. You gone completely. Picture gone. There we go. Oh. There we go. There we go. You're all.
The sound had gone.
That's all right. That's okay. Okay. Right. Right. I want to talk to you. Ruth, can I just check with you? Are you doing the family tree?
I am.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense, because I've got somebody here with a flat cap, and I think I've gone back a bit before your living memory. So that's why I just wanted to check with you if you're doing the family tree, because older generations will come through if you're doing the family tree.
Yeah.
Okay. You must be looking into a gentleman at the moment.
Yes.
As well. And to be honest, I've got it as though it possibly on the father side, but bear with me. So this gentleman, he's wearing a flat cap, and I would say it's circa 1920s. I don't want, so it's quite a big flat cap, you know, that they used to wear in the 1920s, 1900s, that circa. And by that point, he's already a grown man. So I would say that he was in his 20s, possibly 30s, because they tend to look older than what men do today, if that makes sense. He's quite a tall, upright gentleman, but strong as well. Okay. And he was one who was a doer. Does that make sense? So I've got a feeling that you'll probably find snippets and stories about him. Does that make sense? So he was, you know, he was one who worked with his hands. He was one who he is a grafter. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Bless him. Literally really down to earth, because he says, if you give me a shovel, I'll dig my own grave. That'd be fine. I know what to do. So it's not necessarily that he trusted other people, but he's quite happy to do the work himself. Okay. So if you want the job done, let me just do it.
Yeah.
Let me get on with it. Okay. So, and I feel as though that's carried on down the generations as well. Does that make sense?
Does make sense, yes.
And if you want a job well done, do it yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, with that, on this side of the family, he's talking about, yes, but there's a major flaw. And I said, oh, what's that? He said, we're all stubborn. Okay, won't accept help when help is needed. Is kind of he accepts that he knew that he needed help later on in life, but darn if you're going to give him any help. No. Okay, let me just get on with it. And he's saying, yes, but we can really help you. And he's going, no, I can do it myself. Does that make sense?
Brilliant sense. Yeah.
Okay. Now he's talking about it, so you're looking for a gravestone. There is a gravestone, but you may not be able to read the writing on it because I've got it very much covered in lichen and lichen and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
As well. I've also, again, I haven't got him one for staying still in one area for too long. So I feel as though there's a bit of traveling with him as well. There's a kind of a little bit of, and I feel as though this is more migratory to do with work. Okay.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
But it's a nice plot that he is in. Okay, so it's a nice graveyard. That's what I'm looking for. Graveyard. Bless him. He said it's nice and peaceful here. Great for a picnic. Lovely. Okay. Right. Again, it's that kind of a dry sense of humour.
Yeah.
There's no one to disturb you unless you disturb us. We're quite happily join in. You know what I mean? It's that sense of humour as well. But okay, let bygones be bygones. Okay, it's too short to hold on to. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Yeah.
It's no point carrying it to the grave because do you know what?
Yeah.
Not a lot you can do with it afterwards. All right. So whatever needs to be resolved, can you look at resolving it?
Yeah.
Okay. And if it means that the bridges are never built, then accept that the bridges will not be built as well. All right. But there must be an understanding from both parties about that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Makes
It's kind of like there's been attempts at this. He's talking, there's been attempts, and it keeps on failing. So it's either a case that you come to an understanding about where both of you stand and accept that and respect each other's viewpoints and saying, this is where we're going to be, this is how it's going to be. Let us be bygones, let us be friends. We may be relations, but let us have this understanding, this is how we need to be now. Okay, because he's talking about it worries you a lot. Okay, it kind of comes up from time to time and it keeps you from sleeping, is how he's put it. Okay. Okay. Now I know I've gone back a bit, but really honestly. Okay, so he's given me a bottle of tonic. Okay, not tonic water. Bear this one in mind. It's the old-fashioned tonic that you may get from a quack or from the pharmacist, which you may not necessarily want to take. Okay, because you don't quite know what it is. All it says is a tonic. It could be just sugar water, but that's what he's wanting to give you. It's a kind of like a lift me up. Okay, today our tonic would perhaps be Rescue Remedy.
Sorry.
Rescue Remedy.
Oh right. Yes.
Yes. So he's saying today's version of that tonic would be Rescue Remedy.
Rescue Remedy. I know what that is. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you understand about that being as a kind of a lift me up and things. Okay. Okay. He said also went and said, "Surprise! I bet you didn't think you were going to hear from me." So, so yes, he's kind of acknowledging that. Okay. Now, the ladies are a little bit more difficult here. Acknowledges the ladies are being a bit more awkward, aren't they? with the family tree, you're finding that the ladies are being a little bit more awkward to find.
Oh, yeah, a couple of, yes, yes.
Yes, okay. One of them changed their names,
Yes, I did.
okay? And one of them could not spell her surname. So it keeps on coming out different on the census.
Right.
All right. So it's kind of sometimes she adds an E and sometimes she adds in an AE. Okay, the E is at the end, by the way. What you need to look out for is the ages and the address.
Yeah.
Again, the ladies seem to be quite short. I'm only 5 foot, but I feel as though the ladies are about my height, a little bit taller, not a lot taller.
Yeah.
So in today's comparison, they would be quite short ladies.
Yeah.
And again, they're grafters. They're all hard workers. One of them, I've got them as being a maid. So kind of like a chambermaid, something along those lines, okay? And she would be the younger of the ladies that you're looking for. And she's the one who has the difficulty in spelling her name as well. Does that make sense? So you may find her as living in other houses, okay? But she was the one who does all the lifting of the water upstairs, downstairs, and cleaning out the fire grates. She would have done all of that, especially when she was younger. And she started work when she was about 12, 15. So you may find, although she at the time of the census, she may be in a grander house further away from where she actually lived. Okay. Does that make sense?
I'll have a look at that. Yeah.
Okay. It's not telling me what he does. You don't need to know. Okay. All right. Cool. But again, he's here just to fill in some of the blanks for you, but also just to kind of keep you on the track, but also just needing you to come to bygones are bygones and needing to resolve this issue that's hanging on at the moment. Okay. So he's saying, right, I'm going to leave it there. That's it. That's all she's going to get out of me tonight. I'm off.
Lovely. Thank you, Emily.
Okay, I'll leave that love and support. By the way, I do feel as though he although he may not have a lot of money to spend, they would still do a bit of gambling. Okay. And I have a feeling that you may find him in an article or two as well. So I would just have a look out in the news. Just check through circa 1923. It's given me a year. There you go. Okay. Good luck with the magnifying glass as well, because the print is really small in those days. So just I'll leave that one there for you.
Okay. Thank you, Emily.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Okay. Sheila. Hello, Sheila. I know. Come to you.
Hello, sorry.
It's all right.
Yes.
Lovely. I know. Yeah. Okay. I'm coming. Right. Sorry, I've got somebody who's really, really impatient. And I've kind of put them further back in the queue, and I go, no, it's my turn now. It's my turn. My turn. You need it. Okay. Right. We're going to go straight into it straight away. Before I have a chance so you can describe them or anything like that. But you need to drink more water. You're not drinking enough water. You know this. You've already told yourself off for this. But I need to give you some more water. Does that make sense? And stop drinking lots.
Yeah.
The water. I need to give you water. Okay. All right. Calm down. This is coming from a lady who didn't drink enough water.
Yep.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Bless her, she's laughing. You should see it comes round again, doesn't it? Okay. So I feel as though you would have told her to drink more water.
Yeah.
Because now the words are coming back to bite you. So drink more water. Okay. Okay. But she's now saying that in a kind of a jest, but she does also mean it as well. Okay. You can feel the difference on a day when you haven't drunk enough to a day when you have drunk.
Yeah.
Water, doesn't it? And in fact, she's telling me off because I haven't got a glass of water here, and my mouth is quite dry. She said, "See, you should have drunk the. You should pour the water." So she's been telling me off all this time for about an hour. She's just been telling me no water, haven't got the water. Right. By the way, you need to change your clock.
I do, yes.
Okay. And when I say that you need to change the clock, I'm looking at the clock that's in the background.
Yeah.
Needs to be bigger. Far too small, you can't see it. So can you put that somewhere else and get a bigger clock? Okay. But also tonight is change the clock nights. Just to
Yeah.
remind you, have to move them forward tonight as well. Oh, it's just, no. Can you change your alarm clock before anything else?
Yeah.
Okay, the phone will automatically do it, but the alarm clock won't.
No, okay.
And you know that you've got a busy day tomorrow, so you know that you're going to need it.
Yeah.
By the way, nice new shoes, but you need to change the shoes.
Yes, I do, yes.
Okay, nice, but no, you need to change them. Oh, she's been with you for a few days, hasn't she? Right. Oh, you thought about the bag and then thought better of it.
Sorry, what was that?
Thought about the bag,
Yeah.
but you thought better of it.
Yes.
You didn't get it in the end.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're kicking yourself that you didn't get the bag
Yeah.
because you prefer the bag to the shoes.
Yeah.
And you would have got more wear out of the bag than the shoes.
Yeah.
Yes. Be okay, they'll be open tomorrow. Okay, all right, fair enough. You didn't keep the receipt though.
No, I'm not very good at that sort of thing.
So, she didn't keep the receipt. Okay, if you paid by card, then you may be okay to prove that you bought them. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Any time that card's coming handy. All right. Okay. Have you been trying to garden this week? And I say, I'm only repeating what she's saying. So did you have a go at potting out? Is what she's calling it.
No, we have sorted the garden out this week, yeah, but not doing things like flowers and stuff, but yeah, just sorting it out.
Sorting it out, okay. She's just because you've either thought about which plants to kind of get.
Yeah.
It's just kind of giggling that that you've been looking at plants and stuff, and she's just giggling at that for some reason. Does that make sense? Or you know?
Yeah, it's her memorial garden thing. I was thinking about what plants to put in that, so yeah.
The plant that it's the plant that she keeps on giving me is pansies.
Yeah, we had them last time, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you mean she's talking about the little ones, not the big ones, the little ones, so the violas.
Yeah.
You want those? She's also talking about geraniums. So does she like geraniums then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's saying a few geraniums would be quite nice.
Okay.
And she's also talking about, go on. I don't know what that shrubbery is. Show me. A shrub, a green shrub. So you can either have that as lavender, rosemary, or something along those lines. Okay.
Yeah.
Rosemary. She's decided on rosemary for that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was talking about the violas.
Yeah.
The pansies thing. She's just saying, I quite like the pale white and yellow ones, but also the pale purpley colour and those ones are like tulips, just so that she can sing that she's dancing through the tulips, tiptoeing through the tulips. Okay, with Terry Wogan. Did she like Terry Wogan? She must have liked Terry. She did like
Yes.
Terry Wogan. Okay. So she can sing that song as well. Okay. So, through the tulips. Right. And she liked Tom Jones as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Delilah's. Okay, dahlias. Delilah's, meaning dahlias. Okay,
Yeah.
you can pot now and they'll come out in the autumn time, so you'll be okay. You're all right. You don't need to do anything. She must have liked her gardening then.
Yeah.
Okay, because she's talking about, don't forget height at the back, small things at the front, not
Yeah.
small things at the back and tall things at the front so you can't see anything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So she's just saying, think of it as a slope, think of it as a slope, all right? And think about something evergreen
Right. Okay.
as well, all right?
Yeah.
So then lavender can be kind of evergreen, you know, kind of herby things can be evergreen. But they need to be smelly as well. So she liked scent.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's too late now, but hyacinths and things like that for the early grape hyacinths. She liked the grape hyacinths.
Yeah.
Little blue things as well, and smelly dust.
Yeah. Smelly thing. Yeah.
Smelly things. Oh, and she also liked peonies.
Yes.
Yes, as well, because she's given me a peony as well. Now, you were thinking of putting up a trellis.
Yes, we were. Yeah.
Yes, I've kind of been doing an archway trellis.
Yeah.
You said a clematis would be perfect.
Right. Okay.
Right? Because you can hack that back and it will grow back again. Don't get a Montana. Don't, because you'll only have to put that back 3 or 4 times during the year. Right, but it will grow rampant. But think about trying not wisteria. Don't get a wisteria. Okay, all right. She's saying clematis. She's saying clematis. Big flower clematis. Lovely clematis. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Just take it from a clematis. That one. And there's hundreds to choose from. Oh, but I would go for honeysuckle. Honeysuckle's quite nice as well.
Right. Okay. Loads to do.
But you can get an evergreen clematis as well. Okay, so all of the gardening know-how. Oh, and don't forget about the bird bath and the bird feeder, because you've almost forgotten about that one.
Yeah, that is yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have been talking about that because I've got cats in a catio in the garden that don't go out, so they like the old birds, so we were going to get one of them.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bit cool. You should get one of those bird feeders that you stick to the window.
Yeah.
Be entertaining for everybody. But
Yeah.
yes, so it's along those lines that she's talking about. So you feel as though she's very much with you and being that support for you. Should have gone for the backbone. Oh, and actually you need to change one of your tops. Did you buy a top as well?
Yeah, that is very, very significant at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. So you need to change the top, okay?
Yeah.
And actually, you haven't accounted for losing weight.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
So you bought a top that was too big.
Yeah.
All right. So that kind of shocked you, and you realised how big it was when you got home.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to change that one as well.
Okay.
All right. She has no idea if you've kept the receipts or not, because I just asked her, but hopefully you have. Get through with that. But she's saying yes, you need to, at least you haven't taken the labels out yet, but you need to kind of change those
Yeah.
things. Okay. Okay, I'll tell her. She said to have a think about a skirt.
Oh God.
Does that make
That'll be the day that I ever wear a skirt.
Yeah, she's talking about a longer skirt rather
Yeah.
than a short skirt, okay?
I used to wear them a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of long, flowy skirt she's
Yeah.
talking about, okay? So she said, have a think about that. That may be
Yeah.
something different. You're looking for something different, obviously.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So she said, have a think about that. It'd be kind of quite a nice change for you
Yeah.
more than anybody else, and then shock them all.
Yeah, it would.
Oh, and the other thing that you've been thinking about, really? Okay, the other thing that you've been thinking, just before I move on, is about a completely different hairstyle as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
However, you're a bit nervous about changing it, but you are really, really tempted about changing it completely.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So if it's straight, you're thinking perm, maybe, or maybe really short cuts. Do you know what I mean? So it's something completely different where people won't recognise them. She said, well, why not? What's the worst that can happen? Your hair grows out. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to fall out. It will grow again.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's there supporting you, and she wants to send her love as always to you.
Lovely, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Bless you. Thank you. Right, okay.
Emily, it's probably time for one more if you want to do one.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can I come to Wilma and Mike? 'Cause I'm in the same room. Oh, just going to sit down. Fabulous. Okay. Hello. Okay, we're all going for one. Hello. Right. I want to hello. I want to talk to you about a gentleman, and I've got breathing issues straight away with him. He's kind of, and he's kind of taking in more than one gasp of air at a time, and he's struggling. He's kind of getting, I'm here. It's kind of that situation. Quite a tense gentleman. I'm trying to get him to relax. He's quite tense. And he's saying, "No, I'm relaxed. I'm relaxed." I've got him standing up. He doesn't want to sit down. He's standing up behind me. And I do feel as though if he came round to your house, he would have a good old snoop.
Yeah.
Yes. And at the moment, he's just looking through. I'm looking through your kitchen cupboards.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So it's like, oh, what have we got here? What have we got here? But I mean, that was how he was. Do you know what I mean? He would just he'd make himself comfortable in anybody's home. And so they should. I'm a visitor. That's what I'm meant to do. But yeah, so he's making himself at home. Okay.
Okay.
And to that end, he would move stuff to where he thinks it should be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because at the moment he's saying this dishcloth shouldn't be over here. So he's kind of, I can see him trying to move things because they're not in what he would say is the right place.
Okay.
They're the right place for you, but not for him.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Just setting out the store. He's also, listen. Oh, and he may not understand how gadgets worked, but he liked pressing buttons on things.
Okay.
So if you gave him a remote control, he would press on the buttons.
Yeah.
Now, he's drawing my attention to your extractor fan at the back.
Okay.
And he's trying now to press the button. So you must have some buttons on that because he's trying, oh, what does this one do? Oh, so it's kind of like, he's kind of one of those men that I have to think about it, would if you gave him something that needed fixing, he would quite happily take it to the potting shed and
take it all apart. Yeah.
And then kind of go, there is a way of putting it back together, then not sure. So we'll just put it in jam jars.
Yeah.
And kind of rattle it and it'll be fine. And we'll just buy it. It'll be okay. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Kind of tinkering around with things.
Yeah.
Trying to put it so nobody gets innuendos, because he would find innuendos with things as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be really, really careful with my words because he's kind of going, go on, use that one. I'm going, no, if I use that word, I'm going to be putting my foot in it. And he would kind of lead you into that as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, not what I meant. So I'm being very careful with my words. But with that, there's kind of like a good sense of humor with him. Gosh, that sounds like an advert. I know, but let's not. But there is that sense of humor with him as well.
Okay.
So don't get me wrong, I can be grumpy as well.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, he could be quite grumpy. Bit flirtatious sometimes.
Yeah.
As well, because he's saying, yes, but the young girls love me. I'm going, okay, all right. So I know there's a flirtatious side to him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but family know me, so I can be grumpy towards them. Okay. So yeah, so he could swap and change quite quickly, like
yes.
a chameleon, couldn't he, as well? Right. But at the end of the day, people knew who he was. They could see all sides of him. There wasn't this kind of, oh, that's a different side of you I've never seen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And he's talking about, it's not either one of you two, but there's somebody around you who's showing a different side of themselves.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and he said just keep an eye out. Does that make sense? It'd be-
Yes. Yeah.
Just keep an eye on it, because it's
Yeah.
kind of like, and just say, you know what, you're lying to yourself as much as to anybody else. Okay, because when you start cheating other people, you're cheating yourself more than anybody else.
Yeah.
And it may not be you who catches them out, it may be somebody else who catches them out.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about some things that they're saying are not adding up as well. All right.
Yeah.
Hmm. Can you just put all of your, okay, I don't know if you're about, okay, this doesn't make sense to me. Can you put all of your tax stuff together? That makes sense.
No.
Okay. All right, tax. So neither one of you is self-employed or anything like that. Okay.
No, we're both retired.
Okay. Okay. No, he's not changing it. You need to put all of your tax stuff together. So if you're getting pensions and stuff like that, can you just put them all in one place?
Okay,
so you can
yeah.
find them? Okay. So if the tax man does come calling, you can go.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. And also, he's talking about if you're wanting to claim any benefits, it will all be there.
Okay.
Information will be there. All right. Instead of in 6 different places.
Okay.
You have to hide the stuff, but knowing where you hid the stuff is even better. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, can I just I need to draw attention to a ring.
Okay.
Okay. It's an old ring, gold ring, old gold ring, old gold ring.
Yeah, it's just my mum's.
Okay. Now it's either being cleaned or it needs to be cleaned.
It needs to be cleaned, but it needs to be resized.
Okay. Well, you can do both at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So it's kind of, he's just drawing, and he's taking it, it must have been on a wedding finger, because he's taking
Yes, it was.
it's an engagement ring or something like that, but it needs to be sorted. He's kind of, it keeps on taking this ring off and putting it there, and I'm kind of going, no, it doesn't fit there, it'll fall off. So
Yeah.
it's that situation. And he just says, don't forget that they may have to add a different type of gold onto it.
Ah, okay.
Okay. All right, so just bear that one in mind, because it's a softer gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gold today. Okay, it's a softer gold as well. And where's your signet ring, please? Signet
I've got
ring.
one. You
It's
got
a
one?
signet ring, an old signet ring. It's
Yeah, my mum's. My daughter's got it.
Okay, it's nearly worn. It's nearly
Yes.
worn.
Very thin, yeah.
Yes. Can you get some way of kind of writing down what was on it, what was engraved on it?
I will do.
Or it goes completely. Okay. So then you've got a keepsake of what was on it.
Yeah.
Because I feel as though that monogram or whatever is going to be reused in the future at some point.
Okay.
So just make a note of what's on there.
Okay, thank you.
Go on. No, but he has asked for a really strong cup of tea with 2 sugars. Is that what he used to have?
Didn't have sugar.
No. Okay. Yeah, I just gone and said, well, why do you want the sugar? He says, I can now.
Oh, well, okay.
So I don't know if it was a case of that he couldn't have the sugar beforehand, but now he can.
Okay.
So, but
Yeah.
yes, a strong cup of tea. Okay. He didn't like coffee, but he liked tea, so it needs to be a strong builder's brew. Strong
Yeah.
builder's brew. And easy with milk as well.
Yeah.
Not where you put. That's not where you put milk. Anyway. Oh, okay. Can you not forget about the hot cross buns for Easter?
Bless him. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, do remember some have to be for toasting and some have to be just for the bunnage. So
Yeah.
again, you have to make sure that the ones for toasting, they can be a little bit older than the ones for bunning, but the ones for bunning need to be nice and soft.
Okay.
So you have to test this out beforehand, because the ones for toasting have to toast really nicely.
Right. Okay.
Not too long either. You just want it warm, a little bit caramelized, but not too He's a bit specific, isn't he? About
Yeah, very fussy. Yeah.
yes, yes, that's where I put it. Yes, so he's kind of, and a nice piece of lamb would go very nicely with that as well.
Oh,
Oh, hi. What else?
nice piece of lamb.
He's not too fussy about the eggs. Oh, you think? Oh, okay. Thinking about doing an Easter egg hunt thing. Does that
Okay,
make sense?
for the children, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Easiest way of doing it. Don't worry about it. Get those little mini eggs all foiled up, and he says just throw them out into the garden where they don't find them. And if they can't find them, don't worry about it. Okay. So that's his idea of hunting. You know, just throw
Egg
them.
hunting,
You know,
yeah.
you know how many you've thrown out. So
Yeah.
and
Okay.
let's do it that way. And then it's a surprise for everybody.
Okay.
Have you in your garden? Have you got a shed with a pointed roof like that?
Yes.
Okay, because he's taken me to the top of it.
Okay.
At the top, and I don't quite know why, but it's kind of like that's a prime place to look over everything. So I don't know if you were thinking of putting a camera up there, or I feel as though I'm looking at the garden space from that angle of being at the top of that shed.
Yeah. No, I want to put a security light up there.
Oh, okay. So that's why he's taking me there then, because I can see everything up
Yeah.
to the back door and everything all in that area.
Yeah.
Saying yes, that'd be a fine job, but not too bright, but not too low. Okay, all right. He says, thank you for my very comfy slippers. So I don't know if you left him with his comfy slippers, but he liked his comfy slippers.
Yeah, he did
That's
like
right.
his slippers, yeah, with the backs all folded down.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's easy to get on and off then. You don't have to bend down. The bending down it's fine bending down, it's getting back up again.
Yeah.
That's always the tricky point. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you're up, it's getting down. So
Yeah.
if you just want to stay in one position, either up or down.
That's right,
one or the
yeah.
other, but you don't want to be doing either one up or down.
Okay.
But Mike, have you been looking at a pair of slippers for yourself recently? I'm kind of fine. Oh, I wonder what those actually. I'm kind of looking at them, kind of going in the back of your head. Not that you've necessarily bought them, but you've kind of been going, oh, those actually look quite comfy.
Funny enough, I did look in the shop, but I knew I had a couple of pairs. Yeah, I think I've got 2 pairs in the wardrobe.
Right. Okay.
So I didn't bother.
Okay. But it's almost as though I want to put slippers onto your feet. Okay.
Yeah.
As well. But I've kind of got a different pair for going outside and a different pair for coming indoors. So that you don't pull in the mud and anything else from outdoors to indoors. Okay. All right. That's such not a nice present. Okay. What Wilma, for you, he's sorry about this. He's wanting me to give you a mop.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
Does that make sense? So it's kind of but you need to break them off because you keep on mending everybody else's problems and messes.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's on a symbolic level.
Symbolically.
Right. Okay, so he's kind of saying, here's a mop, it's not your mess, so therefore it's not for you to do, I break them off.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, he's going to pop back again around about Easter time. Hopefully you've done your research into the hot cross buns.
Oh gosh, yeah. Okay.
All right, and he will be back, and he says, don't forget about the cake either.
Oh, he wants a cake as well? Oh, right, okay.
Well, you know, it's yeah. So I've got a lot of sweet things that
Yeah,
he's looking for
yeah.
at the moment. Okay.
He was very sweet, tough.
Did he? And I've noticed there's an accent, but I'm getting Welsh cakes and Barabeth. So I don't know.
Barabreath, yes.
Barabreath, but he would put butter on it.
Yeah, we are Welsh.
Oh, okay. But would he put butter onto it?
Yes.
Okay.
Only Lurpak.
Hasn't got any salt in it. Okay, if you say so. But yeah, I've got that, but with butter on it.
Yep.
And it's definitely not sorry. You can't give him sorry. It has to be
Barabreath, homemade Barabreath, yeah.
And make sure it's got lashings off
Okay,
the pack or whatever butter on
I
it.
said,
Well, okay. Can I leave that there for you? Bless
you
you.
can. Thank you ever so much. God bless you, Emma.
Bless you.
Emily.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I know Neil's going to call me to time now, aren't you, Neil?
Yeah, I am, Emily. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
But, thank you very much for giving us all those readings. You can see they meant a lot to everyone that you connected with. So that was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Just a quick mention of our final notifications for this evening. Most of you are aware we have an online open circle on Tuesday evening on Zoom. Doors open at 7:45. We usually start around 8 p.m. after the banter subsides. So everyone's welcome to come, either to get a reading or receive one. To give one, I mean. It is an open circle, so established mediums with no still developing are very welcome to come. It's a form of practice and passing on the heartfelt messages that Spirit decide, as I said, need to be delivered. Kevin also has his online Shakti breathwork group on Thursdays. Hopefully he'll be back with that at 7:45 with his computer back online. That's what he's planning. Sadly, I'm not clever enough to stand in for that one, so fingers crossed. Our next divine service will be in a week's time on the 2nd of April. Doors will open as usual at 6:45 and we start around 7. Kevin will announce the guest medium in due course in the week. Okay. A very quick mention, we have something special coming up on Friday the 15th of April. We called it the Amadeitist Extravaganza, which is a mixed bag of themed trivia segments and readings for our established Amadeitist mediums, some proficient and others undergoing development, but it culminates with a rock till you bop disco, which you can join in sitting in your seat. You bring your own favorite tipple and snacks. We do draw a lot of interest in it. It's a bit of fun. So if you're stuck on your own and you want a fun way just to pass some time, do come along. The Zoom link will be uploaded on Facebook on our sites from the 11th of April. So do look out for it. You can always find all our links online at our Amadeitist community site on the web, which you can access via amadeitist.org. Okay. Now that advert's out of the way, I'd like to hand back to Emily again for our closing prayer, please.
Thank you. Divine Spirit, Mother, Father God, thank you for opening the 2 doors from this world and yours, for allowing our loved ones to be ever closer to us, for sharing the unconditional love and healing with all of us. We know that the 2 doors are gently closing, but our loved ones are never that far away, as it has been shown this evening and proved. We know that they're near to us, guiding us and protecting us. May they continue to do so, and may we, with what we have been given, share it generously with those who have not been here, with a gracious and warm heart and a gentle smile. We ask this in your name. Amen.
God be with you till we meet again. By his counsel's guide uphold you. With his sheep securely fold you. God be with you till we meet again.
God be with you till we meet again. Neath his wings securely hide you. Daily manna still provide you. till we meet again.
Till we meet, till we meet, till we meet at Jesus' feet. Till we meet, till we meet. God be with you till we meet again.
God be with you till we meet again. When life's perils they confound you, put his arms unfailing round you. God be with you till we meet again.
Till we meet, till we meet, till we meet at Jesus' feet. Till we meet, till we meet. God be with you. God be with you. Oh, God be with you till we meet again.